Well, hey there, you're on the internet, I have some free time, and welcome to the Triple N Network, where all you newbie nib nerds can find all the news you'll need. Let's look at an ink today, shall we? Now, today's ink is very, very special. This was the first ink provided for me by a viewer, and it's an ink that I couldn't have gotten myself. It's an exclusive ink. Blue Upon the Plains of Abraham. It's an eternal ink. I believe it's exclusive to Canada's Wonder Pens, and it's American Canadian ink for Canada. And it's to commemorate a battle, I think in 1759. Canada wasn't Canada yet, and the British and the French were fighting over who was going to rule North America, and this was a pivotal turning point, I believe. Admittedly, my Canadian history is embarrassingly gappy, but this is a fantastic ink. Fantastic ink. And my mysterious benefactor, as we have elected to call them, provided it for me. It is bulletproof, it's eternal, it's gorgeous. Honestly, this is now one of my favorite inks. I've only had it about 2 weeks, and as you might be able to tell, it's actually down past the neck to right about there. And it is a beautiful, dark, rich blue ink with some hints of purple. And God, this ink is just gorgeous. Yeah, so thought I'd do some comparisons. And the obvious comparison, in my experience, is to Noodler's 54th Massachusetts. As you can see, Blue Upon the Plains of Abraham, or I've taken to calling it Butt Poa, just efficiency's sake. As you can see, Abraham is a much darker blue. It definitely has some hints of red in it. It has and I almost don't want to say that it's a purple ink. It's really a blue that has some red in it. It's quite fascinating. Noodler's 54th Massachusetts also has that intense, dark, woolly texture, which this certainly has. But this is definitely more of a gray blue. I also did some water tests and some bleach tests on both. Noodler's 54th Massachusetts, there was no impact whatsoever, not water or bleach. But what happened with Blue Upon the Plains of Abraham, all the red washed away. So it became a more bright, vibrant blue. So I thought that was interesting. Also thought I'd compare it to some other sort of dark blues. Here I have Private Reserve Fast Dry Midnight Blue, Noodler's Q-Ternity Blue Black, Rhodia und Klinge Salix, which is an iron gall, and Diatramentus Document Blue, which is another very dark blue with almost hints of purple that's permanent, but yeah. So the pens I used were this Knox Galileo with a broad nib. In fact, it's still in here, even though I love using this ink for tests. I keep refilling this pen because I love it. Oh, there we go. Sorry, it was under a lamp for a while. Yeah, great flow, fantastic. Also in this Jinhao 616 with what really is an extra fine nib, and did not die of the sack. So, got that going for it. I love this ink. It's fantastic. Seriously, put up with ordering it from Canada. It's fantastic. So, oh, also, this chromatography is awesome. So, here's the regular chromatography. You know, you put a drop, you dunk it in water, and you see what happens. Look at this. There's this bright red. It's like a strawberry red, almost looks like strawberry ice cream. And then it goes up into this dark, dark blue. So, what remains is kind of red, but the blue really moves. Now, lately I've been doing this thing where I let ink dry in the chromatography strips, and then the complete opposite happened. The blue would not move. I tried this several times. Blue won't move. The red washes away. I think that's really cool. Anyways, top down in density, Clairefontaine, 90 grams per square meter. Oh, God, that was an awful sound. That was the paper hitting the tripod. This is such a gorgeous dark blue. But yeah, even in the broad nib, 10 seconds to dry. This extra fine Hero 616, 5 seconds. Really not bad. You do get some shading, but mostly it's dark and mostly it's pretty consistent. And it definitely has that woolly texture. Yeah, I got a little enthusiastic. Great color. Great color. No bleeding, feathering, or spread. So there was some mild echo in the broad because that was where I had to scrub and wax because I got overexcited. It is a very dark ink, especially in the broad area. You might want to keep an eye on it, but personally it would not bother me, and I am picky. So, and here's where this really cool thing like in the chromatography happened. See how the blue remained? But there's like this gentle reddish pink mist floating around. It's kind of cool. Anyway, so water test didn't move. Bleach test, again, sort of turned a lighter blue, and the bleach actually started tearing apart the paper. So you can see that, honestly, the reason why it's that light is because the paper started to come apart before it would let go of the ink. Next is Rhodia, 80 grams per square meter. The broad took 8 seconds to dry. The Hero 616 took 4. Had really decent shading. It's really rich. And when I did these tests, I had already had the ink for a week. I've had it for another week, and Rhodia is one of my go-to papers. Literally, this test is the only time I saw it behaving like this, where there was some feathering, even in the extra fine, which honestly, I mean, I always do these tests the same way, so I wanted to show this because this is how it went when I decided to sit down and test it. But still, this is the only time it ever happened. So, yeah, anyways, fantastic water test. Absolutely didn't move. Again, the bleach started to tear apart the paper, and it mostly just turned a lighter shade of blue. Now, it's not genuine bleed through, but it's such an intense echo that it's something to keep an eye out for. Next is Tomoe River Paper, where I think as expected there was extended dry times because that's something that Tomoe River does. But even still, for a broad nib, 16 seconds. For a permanent ink, really not bad. Extra fine, 8 seconds. I'll totally take it. Yeah, great shading all throughout. Really great. Definitely the most shading we've seen so far. There's no bleed, feather, spread, but this is a very dark ink and this is very thin paper. So especially in the broad nib, you might want to keep an eye out for it. Water test, fantastic. Didn't blink. Again, solid, dark, didn't feather, didn't explode, didn't even get lighter. You just see this sort of faint pink mist. And again, even though this paper loves to let ink slide away, the bleach just turned it a lighter color. That's all. Really impressed. Now, on the 20-pound copier paper, I just used the extra fine nib because, I mean, nobody would be that ridiculous. But anyways, still didn't do it a lot of favors. But I'm learning that whatever this paper is, it is just awful. In fact, when Mead Notebook Paper outperforms this, you know you've got a problem. So you got a couple of spots, you got significant echo, but you still have this beautiful, rich, dark blue, and the dry times are great, and it's just absolutely indestructible. I mean, look at that. It just did not blink. Didn't explode, didn't feather, still dark, still rich. Again, the bleach turned it a lighter shade of blue, and as you can see, it actually, like, ate away at the paper. So, yeah. Next is Mead Notebook Paper, where again, I just used the extra fine Hero 616. 1 second to dry. Really not bad. There is, I said there's spread, but I really don't see much. Like if you look at the fine writing here and the fine writing there, really not that significant. It might have mostly just been in my head at that point, but Yeah, there is a little bit of feathering, but this is a very intense ink, and this is very cheap paper. But yeah, it's not a good showing for an extra fine nib, but honestly, I would put up with it because this is fantastic. And look at that. Okay, so the splatter, that's from something else. But again, you just get that little mist of strawberry ice cream color. Again, turn the ink a sort of more vibrant blue. Significant echo. And you get a couple dots of bleed through, but mostly it's just intense echo. But still, you'd like to see better from an extra fine. But next is Moleskine notebook paper. I should say lastly. And again, I got mad at this paper for behaving well, because this is not how most Moleskine paper is going to react. So that's disappointing. I wish this paper always acted this well. But as you can see, we've got intense shading. We've got bold color. Dry times are still quite nice. I mean, there's no bleed feather spread, and that's not accurate. I wish it were always like this, but again, look at that water test. Did not blink. Get that strawberry ice cream haze, and you get some lighter blue where the bleach test was, and that's it. Honestly, I mean, we got plenty of noodlers here in the United States. We really do. I mean, it's where the guy's from, but if you trust me at all, find a way to at least get a sample of this ink. It seriously impressed me. I mean, it really wowed me. I cannot thank my mysterious benefactor enough. I am so thankful for this bottle of ink, not just because of the gesture, but because of how fantastic it is. Seriously, I haven't been this impressed by a bottle of ink in a long time, and it's gorgeous. So, for your consideration from the Triple N Network, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.